fastest growing sport in the world, by far. Jason mentioned I've been in the industry in sports media for about 15 years. I've had the opportunity to work on everything from Olympics to Commonwealth Games to World Championships, ESPN for the last 6.5 years. And I have never, ever seen an opportunity like we see right now in mixed martial arts. There is no sport that is taken off at this level, that has this kind of potential, that has ignited the MMA community, ignited media, ignited businesses, sponsorship, like we are doing with MMA right now. It's not golf, it's not tennis, it's not table tennis, it's not football. We are driving it right now. This is the sport and this is the time. And that's why this summit and this weekend is a game changer. Why? You know, we all know about this. I'm talking about things that we know. That why has this sport exploded and why is it so quickly accepted in the region right now and growing? Because it's the excitement of a prize night. We're bringing Las Vegas here. This is a rock concert. People come in and they are entertained. It's not just two people fighting or two people playing table tennis and you sit there and you watch and then you politely clap. This engages the fan. This engages the sponsors and ignites everybody with the hair-raising kind of energy of a night. And that's the theatrics that we bring with every event that we do. MMA is a major player in the world of sports. Make no mistake about it. This is mainstream. The pay-per-view revenues right now globally around 500 million. As a benchmark for this, the closest that comes to this is boxing at 250 million. So you're talking about a sport that is double what the next sport is doing in pay-per-view revenues. As a sport last year in the US recession had a 30% CAGR growth. Unbelievable. In a recession, while everyone else is going down, this sport is taking off. Fox, as we know, recently paid $700 million to the UFC for a 7-year deal. And as you've heard me talk about tons of times, One FC is now broadcast over 500 million viewers, 28 countries, on ESPN and Star Sports. The irony is this: we've seen the sport explode all across the world, except for Asia. We're at its infancy. And it's ironic because Asia is the home of martial arts. If you talk to any Asian, they know Kung Fu, Karate, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, Silat. This is all in our common vernacular. And if you turn on the TV, guaranteed you'll see some sort of fighting going on. It's in our soap operas, it's in our music, it's in our videos. And the gap to move somebody to fall in love from martial arts to MMA is very, very easy to do. And that's why we're filling stadiums, and that's why the sport is getting so much momentum. Adam Geiser, president of Everlast, talks about how the big sponsors, Burger King, Anheuser-Busch, Harley-Davidson, these are all guys that are sponsoring MMA, and they don't sponsor these sports. You better believe if Burger King is involved, this is mainstream. This is some examples of our partners that we currently have with One FC, how they activated. Schick Razor is our partner. They launched an entire campaign around this, and they're looking to create limited edition One FC Razor. One of the most popular motorbikes in Malaysia, KTM, is also our partner for our upcoming event June 23rd, where every ticket buyer has a chance to win a motorcycle. But by every social metric, you're seeing this sport grow. Facebook fans, YouTube channel views, channel subscribers, Twitter followers, our media coverage. We are on a hockey stick growth curve. The sport is exploding. It is a phenomenally exciting time to be around the sport, and it means opportunities for all of us. So let me talk a little bit about what we're going and where the sport is going specifically in Asia, now that I've talked about the sport in general. You know, I'm reminded of Shaquille O'Neal, because I know that all of you are here out of passion. We've done what we've done because we love the sport. We're passionate about it. But passion only goes so far. This is also a business. It's about making money. It's about opportunities. And how do we identify those? And I remember this famous quote from Shaquille O'Neal while he was in the middle of his contract negotiations. And he says, "Everybody keeps talking about money, money, money. I just want to do what I love and play basketball, drink my Pepsi, and wear my Reeboks." So it's passion, but there's business here. So let's look about where the opportunities are. For our sponsors and our partners and the people that are going to help grow this sport. You know, comparatively, we look at the US to Asia. US is a population of 312 million. In Asia, we're looking at 3.9 billion. UFC is on Fox, recently announced. We're now on ESPN and Star Sports. The fan base for Asia is completely at a different scale of what we've got here. You know, as I mentioned earlier, this is the home of martial arts. Asia martial arts is at the root of everything we do in this region. So the fan base of what we have, both for sponsors to reach and opportunities, is significantly greater. And that's why we've got partners that are new partners into the MMA industry that you haven't seen before, that have now come on board. Schick, Energizer, Sony, Uppercut, Fairtex, Carl's Jr., Red Army Watches, Vostok Europe, True Fitness, Live Studios. These are guys that all want to be a part of what we are doing and what you already know is the opportunities. For the One FC Network and our sponsors, a couple of key points on why this is such a great opportunity for them and what we're doing to work together. First of all, it gives an incredible global reach to our partners through our online live streaming, through all the live streaming that anybody in the One FC network does, whether it's your own event or a One FC event. We reach over 500 million viewers in 28 Asian countries. This kind of reach for MMA is unprecedented. And our TV deal that One FC has with ESPN and Star Sports is a 10-year deal, which means when we talk to partners and when we make our plans, we say, I don't really care about one event. That's not what I'm looking for. One-off events, actually, if that's the vision that you have, you don't be a part of this. We're building for the next decade. Tell me what you want to do as our partners. Sony, what do you want to do? How do you want to build this brand globally, Asia, with MMA, with One FC? And those are the opportunities that we'll give. We will give you, as a sponsor, access to industry leaders, like here at the Summit, and give you the kind of significant country, local partners that you want, that you've never had before. You know, dear Mr. Uppercut sponsor, you want to be the biggest brand in the Philippines? Well, hell, I happen to be partners, and in the One FC network is the biggest event in the Philippines, URCC. How about we knock on their door and let's talk about how we explode with URCC as they continue to grow across the region. Our broadcast and our events give sponsors exposure all year long. And that's a key. This is not just a partnership that goes for one night, an event night, or one day. This goes all year, from our television broadcast to the briefings to the next events to every single partner that we have in the network. For our gyms and the One FC network, the opportunities for them. This is potentially an entire new group of sponsors that gyms have never talked to before, whether it's Sony or a Carl's Jr. or a Schick. I'm currently helping several gyms link up with sponsors so that they can have an entire sponsor for their gym when they open up. You know, those are the kind of relationships and networks that we're able to build. Helps the gym owner save money, helps the gym owner bring in a new sponsor, and helps us grow. For the gyms, it's greater fight opportunities across Asia. Now, a gym owner not only can rely on the relationships that he already has with maybe just one organization in his own country. The door is open to everybody in the One FC network. And that's why you're seeing fighters that compete on Road FC, compete on CFC, or CFC fighters coming on One FC, URCC fighters. We're talking about fight opportunities for your gym and your fighters across the region that they've never had access before. Which means greater quality fights, greater training opportunities, building the skill set, and building champions that we have. Another really exciting thing that we've just started working on is power group buying and sourcing. You know, take for example that Evolve MMA, Team Lakai, and Prashant in India. All of us combined, we want to buy 2,000 pairs of focus mitts and 2,000 pairs of gloves. Well, right now, probably your membership or you yourself are just going online. When you buy this, 20 bucks a pair for a pair of gloves, come take the shipment and there you go. Now, we can get together and we can approach Fairtex and say, we're buying 2,000 pairs of gloves. you know, what's the deal? Give it to me, $5 a pair, and that's what we do. And we can only do that in this kind of environment where we coordinate. And those opportunities are endless, from equipment to t-shirts to shoes, supplies, anything that we need. To our partners and promoters, you know, you're already seeing the results of this, where we get to put the very best of the best against each other. And this is really, if you're a fighter, this is what you want. You want to be able to be up against the best from other countries and have that opportunity to showcase yourself and develop yourself. And that's what we're doing by working together with the other promoters in the region. We also have the opportunity to take an event, another promotion, and air that on ESPN Star Sports, therefore giving that promoter an even broader platform, giving their event access to more viewers and more opportunities for their sponsors. For the first time with the One FC network, you're seeing promoters talk, and we're actually just coordinating our event schedule. It's like, Luke, what's the date of your event? Road FC, Mr. Jung, what's the date of your event? And we're making sure we're not having 5 events on the same weekend. It's a simple thing, but it's a process that starts with the network. It also allows us to do things of look at our individual stars and our fighters and plan out a calendar for the entire year for this guy. All right, maybe in January he's fighting in Australia, in March he's fighting in Korea, in December he's fighting in Singapore. But those are the kind of discussions that we're able to build off of the One FC network. On top of that, of course, cross promotions. When Prashant's having an event in India, well, we'll of course support him and put it on our Facebook. Hit it up. We'll talk to our media group. We'll talk about our fighters that are in his card. We'll talk about driving traffic to his live streaming and his event, helping him sell ticket sales. We can also start to look at regional media buy opportunities. In this room today, we've got media from around the world that are also industry leaders, that are driving. These guys are talking to everybody that is our fan on a daily basis. We can be coordinating bulk media buys like actually everybody else does in other industries. Whether if you're in TV or if you're in F&B, those guys coordinate those kind of things. It's just something that we're not doing yet as an industry. So let me wrap up before we kick off the summit with 3 key points and what I see as the road to growth for MMA. One of the biggest advantages that we have right now in this sport is that we have the advantage of learning from all these other fantastic business models that have come ahead of us, from F1 to tennis to cricket to golf, and seeing the mistakes that they have made in Asia and the opportunities that they have developed and how we can maximize that and leverage that and learn from that. And it's from those learnings that I took that and why I drive so hard for this summit to bring you all together. Because behind every one of those successful organizations, they kick-started with an event like this. They kick-started with a game-changer gathering of the industry leaders. Point number 2 is we talk about Asia. And it's really actually very hard to comprehend what is Asia, because Singapore is nothing like Malaysia. Malaysia is nothing like Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is nothing like Thailand. It's nothing like Indonesia. It's completely different. Forget the language and culture barriers. From the sport landscape to the food that they eat is very, very different. And what we have to do is make sure that we create our sports that are regionally applicable, as in what we do with the product that we create is appealing to everybody around the world. But it's also locally relevant because we build Asian superstars. We work with our local partners in each area and with the leaders in those countries so that we can rise these stars and become icons in those countries and take them to a global level. And when you do that, you give somebody in that country someone to follow. You give them a Filipino champion. You give them a Thai champion. You give them an emotional connection to the sport that we love and to someone that they can follow. We have a very ambitious agenda, a very ambitious program. If you take a look at the souvenir program that you all got, it is packed. We're talking about everything from opportunities and the growth and how to manage this crazy growth that we're going through right now in the sport, how it's exploding. We're going to talk about rules and safety. How do we develop the sport safely moving forward in everything that we do? hear from some of the biggest global brands that have come here and joined us to talk about what do they look for in a sponsorship. What do they look for that makes a sponsorship valuable to them? If you're a gym owner, what do you have to say? What's the language you have to talk to attract these guys to make it make their worth their while? To discussion on how do we set up Asian amateur circuit. So we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about. But let me tell you, the future is here. And everyone at this summit sees it. You are here because you understand what the opportunity is. And you understand where we're growing and what we're doing. And people outside of this room might not know it yet, but when we leave this summit this weekend, this sport is going off to a whole new level. And you can already see it by the coverage that we're getting, the attention that the summit has taken on. We had too many people that wanted to come here, and we actually had to turn away people to this summit, and which is a good position, you know, but we will grow it. This is the first step. From here, we expand to not only other summits, maybe a summit in another country, but we can do things like an expo where we're bringing all the suppliers from around the world, or an award show. There is a lot